Hi guys, it's Jeremy once again, back with another video for the Life by the Square Inch series, doing another My 30-Day World video for the challenge that was put forth by the Absolute Tabletop guys in conjunction with their Dead Man's Guide to Dragongrin Kickstarter campaign. Back today we are with question number 12. What iconic monsters exist in your world? Now, for those of you who know me, monsters are one of the things that I love. I love making custom monsters for my settings, things like that. So I'm really excited to delve into this particular topic. First of which, I'm going to talk about Rothstein. Now, most of the iconic monsters associated with D&D can be found in Rothstein in one facet or another. Because so much of this setting is based off of real-world cultures, however, I draw really heavily from the mythology and the folklore from the cultures that my world is based around. So, for example, the lands of Madhu Shi, which are based very heavily on several different Asian cultures, they have benevolent dragons and demons and nature spirits, things of that ilk. Meanwhile, in the Divinian Empire, you're more likely to find a Medusa or a Pegasus or a Cyclops. The second setting is a Roth. In Tanthara, there are two monsters that I would consider to be truly iconic of this setting. First of all and foremost is the Caldavan. These are kind of like a cross between the sandworms from Dune and the creatures from Tremors, which, now that I think about it, are actually really more or less just meaner sandworms. But anyways, secondly, the creatures would be the Madhu Shi. These are kind of giant lizards that serve as mounts, and they tend to develop a kind of horse and rider type bond. They have bladders in their necks that allow them to carry water, similar to a camel, and they can also burrow in the sand. So when traveling away from civilization, a Madhu Shi can dig an underground hollow that's really just big enough for themselves and their rider in order to protect them both from the scorching. The third setting is Acid Rain. Again, this setting is an alternate version of Earth, so no monsters. At least not in the traditional sense of the word. Now, many of the inmates themselves could certainly be classified as monsters, however. The fourth setting is Deutschland. Now, there are certainly a lot of monsters that can be found in Deutschland. However, I think the most iconic is probably the dragon who sleeps at the bottom of the Pool of Tears. Now, this body of water is filled with the sadness of the denizens of this land. Contact with it often causes depression and hopelessness, and many actually drown there. This dragon sleeps for centuries at a time, kind of steeping in all of that misery. And when he awakens, he's a creature that is pure malice and discontent. And he's known as the Jabberwock. The fifth setting is Caldera. Monsters aren't something that you usually see portrayed in Westerns, typically. But this is an area that I generally like to push the slider kind of back in the direction of fantasy for Caldera, while still definitely keeping that Wild West flavor. Things like a rock-sized buzzard or a cactus treant have made appearances in the games that I've run, which you can actually find here on this channel. Undead is always a good fitting for this kind of setting, and werewolves as well. But there's really not an end to what you can kind of put in Caldera. The sixth setting is Chrome City. Unfortunately, again, this is kind of a setting within a setting, so most of the monsters are simply those that are kind of from the Harbinger playlist, which for the moment are pretty limited, honestly. Eldritch horrors are supposed to be a big part of the setting, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of that in Chrome City, at least not yet. The seventh and final setting is Momentum. The only monsters that I know for certain are going to be a part of Momentum are the fiends from the Down Under. These things are able to possess a living body that they come into contact with, even if there are already other demons kind of present. What follows is an internal struggle for the dominance of this individual's soul. And ultimately, this can actually lead to the control of the person's mind and body as well. And I definitely have ideas for others, and they're certainly going to be present in the setting. However, for now, that's all I've got. This has been Day 12, Question 12, what iconic monsters exist in your world? This is another video in the Life by the Square Inch video series. Once again, another My 30-Day World Challenge. If you like all of these, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like the kind of content that I'm putting out on the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber and stick around. There's plenty to see. Check out some of the live plays. Check out the rest of the videos of this series. And stay tuned because there's certainly more to come. And until next time, may your dice roll high and your snacks always be within reach.